Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm Christine, your host for today. I'm from Expert Education and Visa Services Melbourne office. Okay, so I have the opportunity. I'm very happy, and I have the opportunity to interview Simon
Good
from
morning, everyone.
IHM and IHNA. So, Simon, welcome to the Coffee Talk.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
for having me.
Yeah, how are you today?
I'm really well, really well. So thanks for giving us the opportunity to sit down and have a bit of a chat about some education and what's happening in Australian education as well.
Yeah, thank you so much as well for the opportunity. Okay.
Wonderful.
All right. So before we get into the heart of discussion, could you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
I can do that. My name's Simon Schweiger, and I'm COO for the Institute of Health and Nursing Australia, known as IHNA, as well as the Institute of Health and Management, known as IHM. IHNA is a vocational school based in Melbourne, probably very well known to many students, international students. And as IHM is our higher education school, also based in Melbourne, but with campuses in Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, and now Brisbane as well.
So you have a lot of, your school is available to different states. And
yes,
it's really good.
That's right. Yeah. So we now have campuses in five locations: Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, and Brisbane. 2 campuses in Melbourne, and we focus in healthcare and community services and community care. That's our focus area. So many students from around the world have studied with us. We've trained just on about 30,000 nurses over the past 20 years to go and take up nursing jobs and registration in Australia as well. So we're really proud of that.
And this is really like in-demand courses as well. Healthcare sector is really like sought after.
Yeah, it is. And the demand for healthcare in Australia is growing, continues to grow. Australia's population continues to grow as well. It's 26 million people now, which I know.
6 million people, that's a lot.
It is a lot. Doesn't sound like a lot.
Yeah, okay.
But from where we were 10 years ago, we've grown by about 5 million people. We'll grow another 5 million people over the next decade. So, and all of those people, everyone's getting older. Like myself, we're all getting a little bit older. We all need more care. We all need more highly trained healthcare workers as well.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Okay. All right. So there are many education providers actually offering these healthcare courses, right?
Yeah.
Such as nursing, you have the social work and community services. Yeah. Now, my question is, what makes IHNA or IHM stand out from other education providers, and why should the students go and study with these schools?
Yeah, and you are right. There are many providers offering these programs, but what makes us different, and we've been training in this area, doing this for 20 odd years, is that we focus only in nursing, community services and social services. Okay, so we are very focused, which means the students can be confident they're getting the first-class education. So there's nobody else in Victoria, for example, who has won the Victorian International Training Award 3 years in a row.
3 years in a row.
No one else has done that.
Okay.
So IHNA did that just after COVID, for the 3 years after COVID. We are highly ranked by our students. You probably heard of the NCVER report, which is the government survey of students and employers.
Okay.
Our students, 93% of our students say they would highly recommend IHNA as an education. That's about 20% more than any other provider in
I've heard as well from my students. They really, because we also meet them, right? So they really recommend IHNA as well, because they got in that experience studying there, and they also got that job as well.
That's right. And you raise a really important point. Education for employment is what IHM and IHNA are all about. So that's our mission: education for employment. So whenever we talk to a student, whether we're training a student, we're always looking at what employment outcomes can come from that for that student, what opportunities can present themselves as well. So about 85% of students go on directly onto employment, generally with the employer who they do their professional placement with.
Okay, because they do have the professional placement.
That's right.
Is that a paid placement?
No, they're not paid placements. For international students, they're not paid placements. However, because students are also working part-time whilst they're doing their course and they're doing their placements, they're obviously able to then mix their placement with their part-time work as well. Because we know students need to earn be working and working part-time and then full-time during their breaks. And so we try and make sure the placement allows time for them to continue to work. That also gives the employers a really great opportunity to see these students in action. And as I said, in about 85% of cases, they'll offer them a job directly out of their placements as well.
Oh, that's really good to hear that. So when they study to IHNA or IHM, there is like a higher chance because they get to learn more about the quality education, the practical placements that we provide to them.
Correct. You know, every healthcare course requires a placement, and that's really important for students to keep in mind. If they come to talk to a provider and that provider says, no, we don't, you'll have to find your own placement. That's not a place you want to study.
Okay.
IHNA and IHNA organises a placement for every single student. That's our responsibility to do. And then we try and get the right placement for the student based on where they're living and what area they might be interested in working in the future as well. So we try to get the right fit. You get a great job, you get a great student outcome, and then you get a great job outcome.
It would be very convenient for them as well to like go to the practical placement that is near to their area.
That's right. I mean, I frequently hear of students who are, for those of you who might know Melbourne a little bit, who are living in down in the southeast, down in Cranbourne, and they're being asked to do a placement in Werribee.
Oh, that's so.
2 hours to get to your placement, 2 hours to get back. They don't have time to work. And if they don't have time to work, they don't have time to then be able to cover their living costs and actually enjoy being an international student in the first place. And that's really tough. You know, so we try to get, if they live in Cranbourne, we want them to do a placement in around that area. So then they're able to continue to work, continue to study, and actually enjoy being a student as well.
Oh, thank you so much for that information. Definitely, they would really wanted to go to your school and study. Okay. And also, do you offer like any like financial supports, scholarship, and assistance or any other benefits for the international students?
Really good question. Particularly given the the cost of living continues to rise. A number of countries, now have level three countries, for example, where you need to show a little bit more financial support as well. So we offer scholarships on a number of our courses, particularly if you look at, say, for example, our Diploma of Nursing program.
Okay.
We offer scholarships for international students.
All right.
About $5,000 to $6,000 scholarship.
Oh,
off those fees, which is really substantial. So those fees come down from $36,000 to $30,000.
Oh, that's a big help as well.
Which is a really big help. For international onshore students, so students who may be thinking the course they enrolled in is not quite the one they want to forge a career in, we're also offering scholarships for those international onshore students who may want to change into a nursing career.
Is that like automatic scholarship, or do you have any like requirements to get that scholarship?
No, so that will be a scholarship for students who are applying for those courses, whether they're offshore or onshore.
All right.
And it's really focused on our Diploma of Nursing program.
Diploma of Nursing program.
Because that's where the biggest demand for workforce in the future is in the healthcare and in the health hospitals and healthcare, and in the aged care and community care sector as well.
All right, that's a good news for the international student who would like to get for the scholarship program.
Correct.
Okay, now for those who are eager to study this course, can you tell us about the upcoming intakes as well and the requirements?
So we run 6 intakes per year. They run in January, March, May, July, September and November. So the next intake will be in November commencing, and that'll be in the first week of November. And it's the first week in each one of those six intake periods. So if students were coming from overseas, it's probably a little ambitious to be applying for November now.
Yeah, because it's already next year.
But they could certainly be looking to January or to March intake as well.
That will be next year.
Correct. And that's in all of our 4 campuses, Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, and now Brisbane as well. If a student starts to study in Melbourne and then finds that they want to transfer to another campus, they might want to start in Melbourne but go to Perth, because as you know, Perth includes an additional some additional post-study work visa if they're eligible for that. Then they simply are able to, at the end of their semester, simply transfer from Melbourne to Perth. No extra fees, no extra costs. They're simply changing from one campus to another.
So that would be fine. Now
That
my
would be
question is,
absolutely fine.
do they also like provide course credit as well whenever they transfer to different states?
So they're not actually leaving the course.
Yes,
They're
yes.
simply changing their campus.
Also, that would
All
be
right.
fine.
So they're still studying with IHNA.
Yeah.
They just leave our Melbourne campus
All right.
and they go and study with our fabulous team in Perth and join. And actually, because we run a national delivery program,
Mhm.
they will actually be studying with students who they were studying with in online and in mixed cohort study groups anyway. So they'll simply, and this happens quite frequently. Somebody arrives in Melbourne, they have family members, they start to stay with them, then they start to meet other students, they meet other people around the country, and they want to transfer to Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, or Brisbane.
Yes.
We can facilitate
So
that.
that would not be a problem
Not a
for them
problem
because
at all.
others like, oh, I don't have, there's no school available in
That's
that.
right. That's right. No,
That's
so
good.
any one of the 4 campus locations, they're more than
Alright,
welcome to
yeah.
do that as well, which really helps. And it helps when particularly when students start to get to the 3rd semester,
Mhm.
because they're starting to think about work. We're talking to them about jobs all the time. We're talking to them about where jobs are available.
Yes.
And as we know, there's a big demand for nurses in the regional areas
Yes,
of
in the
Australia.
regional area.
And they may not want to go to regional Victoria, but they may prefer to go to regional Queensland.
Correct.
So they're simply able to then, as we might have job opportunities because every single week we will have employers coming to talk to students about their health service, about them as an employer, about job opportunities, etc. And that means then their students are able to start to get to understand who the big employers are, where the opportunities are, which state they might like to go to as well once they graduate.
Oh, that's correct. It's really, really a great news for the students who really wanted to study healthcare courses, especially nursing. Yeah. So, Simon, given all the news here in Australia, do you think that Australia is still good for international students?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I spend a lot of time traveling to different countries around the world. I meet a lot of students. I meet a lot of parents as well. And Australia is still one of the best places in the world to study. I was really, really excited and really happy to hear the Victorian Premier overnight basically reaffirming Victoria's position that it was always open for international students. And I think Australia is open for international students as well. You'll never get a better education. And you will never get an education also that is then able to take you to places around the world as well. Australian qualifications recognised around the world, and that's a fabulous opportunity for international students to build their base here, stay in Australia, or if they wish, they can take up opportunities in all other different parts of the world as well.
And they will be very competitive as well in their
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Now, thank you so much for that. So all right. It's time for our coffee break, rapid fire round. Are you ready with that?
I'm always ready.
All right. So I'll throw out a couple of questions. So just say the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. So first question, what's your go-to coffee order?
My go-to coffee order is a cappuccino, medium, full milk, no extras.
Okay. Noted. Okay. Second question, one piece of advice for students entering the healthcare field today.
Have an open mind and think about all of the opportunities in the healthcare sector. Healthcare in Australia is not just delivered in a hospital. A lot of students come to us from countries where the primary healthcare is delivered in a hospital. In Australia, as we know, it's in a hospital, it's in community care settings, it's in home care settings, disability care, etc. So be very open-minded when you're looking at opportunities, because in Australia, they're very, very diverse.
Yeah.
And then there's generally a role that suits absolutely everybody.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And thank you, Simon.
Pleasure.
That wraps up our coffee talk today.
Fabulous.
And thank you so much for having you here as well. And to our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. And we hope that we provide a valuable information to you. And if you want to study or know more about how to study in IHNA and IHM, just feel free to visit our office at Melbourne. And also just please get in touch with us. Again, thank you so much and take care. Enjoy.
See ya.
See ya.